Zoe will be picked in this game, but it's not for BDD, who has had one of the scariest Zoes in the LCK. So we're going to see if Fly can challenge him here in the mid lane.
Yeah, exactly. This is certainly one of Fly's better champions, though. He does like the Zoe a lot. We saw that BDD was thinking about prioritizing it, but not going to happen. And a lot of pick potential here from Afreeca. It feels like a real 4-1 composition coming out from this squad, with Ashe being able to clear waves quite nicely, Zoe also being able to help out there as well. And Ben can start the fights that they want, with the Tempered Fate being able to come down. Meanwhile, Kiin is destroying the base. So a very standard comp coming out of Gen.G, whereas Afreeca with a few, a little bit more funny business, I guess, in their composition. Having a look at how the early game is going to go, though, I imagine Gen.G is going to be very comfortable.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, this is the scary duo up in the top side of the map, which is...
but we've seen a lot of Quinns get, bitten in the butt from that particular choice. So I'm very interested in how this one's actually going to play out when it comes to this top lane matchup and what the Renekton's going to be able to get done. Because we're expecting that Clid and Rascal are just going to be basically playing 2v1 this entire game.
Yep. That's the name of the game for them. Clid's just going to be clearing out his jungle really fast and looking to put pressure on these lanes. That's what Nidalee does, and that's why it's very popular nowadays. We got double cull on the side of Afreeca.
Yeah,
so...
this is a real Cullen kind of day.
Yeah. And thanks to McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. Huge shout out to McDonald's for their new sponsorship. We're glad that there's McDonald's literally everywhere, all over the Rift at the moment.
It's crazy. It's everywhere. That's a nice chroma, by the way. The Brad, he's got the freshest clothes. He's always coming out here with the new looks. So if you're looking for a new style, definitely take a look at Brad the Chad. He'll hook you up. He's got some connections.
He's like Brad the hipster now. He's not even Chad anymore. Just seems to know exactly what the hip style is. I didn't know that, slightly fluorescent green was going to be the new hip thing, but if Brad the Chad's wearing it, we know that it's true.
Mm-hmm. Well, the way this year has been going, it doesn't surprise me that green is in vogue now. It's just a lot of strange stuff is happening.
Because everyone's unwell? Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
Perhaps. That is one way to look at it.
Oh, God.
And, level 1 Sett. It looks like, we'll have to take a look at the items here, but from what I can tell, it does look like Ruler's farming it out, as there's a big trade down on the bottom side.
Yeah, Mystic actually taking a lot of damage as he steps past the minions. Ruler will have the sustained advantage, although there is a Space Coco down here on the bottom side. It's Life looking to get in position. There's the flash face breaker as Mystic immediately cleanses it. The Ignite is down as now Ruler's chasing after Ben. Fly, in the meantime, has forced the flash and solo kills BDD in the mid lane. What the hell is going on? Spear is going to miss, but there's the flash pounce, and Clid is going to immediately answer.
Wow, there's a lot of action to start us off here. Fly being a little bit greedy, trying to push that lane after getting super low, but he got the solo kill, so props to him for sure, as BDD had to flash himself. Down on the bottom side, we've seen many sets get very aggressive early on in the game. Level 1, level 2. This time he chooses level 2. They were able to get double summoners out of Mystic with the trade, whereas Ruler has got both. So we'll see what they're able to set up there, perhaps with a Hex Flash play.
Yep. Going to mean a lot for this lane, actually, because Ashe and Bard do have a lot of lane pressure, and it was going to be a lane that Afreeca should theoretically be able to play around. They will have a lot of control on the top side, as Life is going to come in from the back. Get a double face breaker. Ruler gets delivered a kill. Life has the haymaker. Has now Ben very, very low. And Ruler gets underneath the turret and does force the flash out of Ben.
Yeah, you could see he was unsure whether he could stay underneath there, as here we go. We got a spear onto Spirit, but Clid's not going to follow up on that one. And I love how aggressive Life is getting down on that bottom side. It's making it so difficult for Mystic to do anything down there.
And now Spirit looking for a potential gank here on the top side. Rascal should not be surprised about this. And remember, we talked him up as being one of our more calm and collected top laners. So expect for him to understand that Spirit certainly could be here. He has a ward. Oh no! What is? Rascal, don't do it. I've caster cursed him. It's a disaster. The flash will probably need to come out here as he gets a bit of a snare. Great Culver Meek, but the flash forward and Rascal doesn't even bother. Knew that he was going to die anyway, and Spirit picks up the kill.
Honestly, I think he should have gone for a little bit of an early flash there, especially with teleport down. But here's another look at the trade in the mid lane. You see BDD trying to stack up that passive fly. He flashes the ball, which is really what allows him to win that trade. As Hex Flash is insane. As we see here, he's able to get up the wall. Really nice angle here. Total pressure down on the bottom side going the way of Gen.G. They've got the lane pushed perfectly for this kind of dive. And you see that Ruler, he doesn't step back, so actually does respect the turret a little bit, doesn't want to get overly aggressive there.
Yep, Ruler getting aggressive once again as life's going to be slowed down. That's very important, otherwise he would have broken more faces here on the bottom side. And this wave is pushing back towards Gen.G. Utter disaster for Afreeca. As you can see, Nidalee has peppered the jungle with wards, and Mystic's going to get pulled back. There's the snare as well. Haymaker not quite going to get the damage that they're looking for, but there's the piercing darkness. Good Guardian Shield will keep Mystic alive. But still, I mean, the pressure is just too much. Mystic lives in this lane with only 100 health.
Yeah,
as Clid, that was an odd spear.
Yeah, he's kind of just throwing them, but he's doing a good job keeping tabs on Spirit here. He's going to take that out. That spear is going to miss as well. Kind of unfortunate, but you can see because of the crazy pressure they have down on the bottom side, now Clid is shifting his attention not to the top side of the map, but rather down here. He's landed this spear, but doesn't want to go on.
It doesn't actually get the pounce. It'll be all right. Kiin up here towards the top side, 10 CS advantage. Berserker's Greaves now picked up as well. And he does have the cleanse, so not going to be stunned for too long as Mystic. Oh no, he's super dead. There's the Haymaker, and that is going to be the death of the Ashe. This lane, it feels like Senna Sett is somehow a kill lane. I don't know.
Well,
it's weird. They are playing so aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got an Ashe that doesn't have flash and life is just hex flashing over and over, and you see that Mystic and Ben are not really respecting that. The power of the hex flash out of the brush when Gen.G's lane has total control, and I mean that's like the third time in a row we've seen him get caught by that. So I think he's either got to accept that this lane is pretty much done and broken and over, or he's just going to keep dying.
Do you think Hex Flash Nimbus Cloak is busted, by the way? I think it's pretty busted. Being able to just get like incredible movement speed on a whim, I don't know, it's pretty silly. And life is certainly, like you were talking about, being able to utilize that advantage. And you can see it's a 20 CS advantage on the bottom side, as Clid is going to be able to utilize the pressure and pick up the first Ocean Drake. Mountain will be the second one, and then we're going to have an Infernal or a Cloud. I'm feeling Infernal today. Yeah. I was caster cursing towards the clouds a lot yesterday, but it's feeling like a fiery one.
Are you sure it's not because you're burning up in your room?
I mean, that might be it. My fan ran out of battery.
Oh no. GG.
Yeah, it's not super great. So we're gonna have a look at this once again. Yeah. That's Hex Flash.
Just
Q movement speed, a lot of movement speed coming out of the Sett.
I mean, he has to respect the fact that Sett could be in that brush, or maybe he even saw him go into the brush, which would be even worse. But it's just like a lose-lose situation. Either you try to step up and avoid the Sett, which is incredibly hard because of Nimbus Hex Flash, as you were mentioning, or you just have to play super safe and not farm. So you can see that Ruler's already almost 1,000 gold ahead down on the bottom side, so that's going to be a massive win here to start.
Yep, Ben looking for it. Bubble doesn't land. And BDD will survive for the moment. Certainly on the back foot here as Spirit's going to dive on in. Chilling Smite goes down. Doesn't get the stun onto Life, who is here towards the top side. It's always confusing when it's support set up there. I just assume that it's a jungle, but there's a Nidalee in this game. There's now Ruler moving on over. They really want to get this first Herald. Both of these teams certainly do like to prioritize it, but it looks like it is going to go over to Gen.G.
Yeah, and notice the positioning of Ruler. He doesn't come all the way up. Teams have adapted, essentially. They haven't, fully committed 5 players to the Rift Herald anymore. It's like, let's... it's like a little bit of a game of chicken, right? It's like, how much are they going to commit? And if they don't commit much, then we can, we'll send Ruler mid for a little bit, but we'll send him bot as soon as possible to catch the wave so we don't miss any of the XP or gold down here, which is the case for Ruler. He has caught this one. It gave Mystic a little bit of freedom to get some legs underneath him, but it's still definitely a very dominant lane, especially now that Life has rejoined down here in the bottom lane.
Yep. And Ruler's been able to eat the extra souls as well, so that's going to only add to his advantage. And as you can see, when everything neutralizes, that's about 2 waves in the lead for the Senna, which is still just a fantastic advantage, especially for a champion that scales to infinity. Not bad at all. Nidalee is going to get bubbled here underneath the turret. Fly has himself a barrier. Might need to use it as the turret shot does come in and eats up that barrier that we were talking about. Great shockwave from B2D to deny the aggression, but still he had to use his cleanse. Oh no! Fly may get flashed on as the Dawning Shadow comes out. Goodbye, Mr. Zoe.
Wow. That was crazy. That was awesome. I've never seen that kind of a, just straight up snipe kill from the bottom lane. Incredible communication to make that work as well. Ruler obviously watching the mid lane and the fight as it's going on. So super clean. As I don't know what this is. This is
yeah, that's a tempered fate and
sadness.
A missed cosmic binding. Hog.
Sadness is what that was. Yeah, and you can see why Orianna is actually pretty decent into the Zoe as well, because the second she portal jumps forward, you just combo her in the face.
Yeah, well, there's the flash showstopper as Kiin is going to bounce on back with the Volt. Spirit flashing forward. Clid is here. I don't know whether he's going to get in shield range, and I think Life is just going to be taken down. There we go. Goomba stomped on the head by a giant bear. Doesn't feel so great. As meanwhile, underneath the bottom lane, Rule is actually taking a bit of harass damage from the 0-2-0 Ashe. As Rascal throws down the ultimate. He will find the stun, but Cleanse is going to be available, and Kiin looks to have escaped this one. Does have Nimbus Cloak in his secondary, so that adds the extra movement speed as well, and he will be absolutely fine. But no summoner spells now for the Quinn in exchange for Flash and Ulti out of Rascal.
Yeah, Rascal, I think he was a little bit unclean, let's say, on the combo, but he still was able to get both summoners. So it's still a big win, especially because this lane is going to be open now. They're going to be able to get the turret here with the Rift Herald, and Gen.G are just very aggressively playing this early game and playing it really well. As you can see, BDD here, he waits until Fly commits, and then he goes for the Cleanse Shockwave. Doesn't end up getting the kill right away, but then maybe he even knows there's a ward here because he baits it, does a bit of damage, and then this is just crazy. From downtown, he was even backing, so he was watching. He was watching, so he was able to get that one. Nicely done.
Oh, damn. That was very, very cool. Out of Ruler, he's now 2-0-1. Manamune complete now also. And we'll see what item build he's going to go for next. Those 2 longswords are interesting. This might be something that LS has been looking for from a lot of our center players, which is more of that lethality build that we used to see so often from this champion. Yeah. Might be getting ahead of myself, though. Could still be just building a very standard style of build, but this would be fun. As, of course, it could just go into Executioner's Calling and Phage, and then we're just going to have that classic Black Cleaver build that we were talking about.
But I think this wouldn't be a bad... Wow, he actually missed that. This wouldn't be a bad game to go for it, especially, you've got Quinn up on the top side. Really, the only person who's going to be building armor is Volibear. As Bard could elect to take some along the way, but until Zoe gets like a Zhonya's, Quinn's not going to be building armor, Zoe doesn't, Ashe doesn't, so you're going to be just chunking people if you do go for that lethality build, so I don't mind it if he does actually commit to it. He should have a decent amount of gold, I would imagine, just sitting in his pockets right now, as he's 2-0-1 and only has the Manamune, but we'll see what he does eventually go for.
I think he cancelled the back and didn't actually go home after the ulti as well, so I think he's been in lane for quite a while. He's now with a 21 CS advantage. Not doing too badly whatsoever. Rascal moving on over to the mid lane. And see what is going to happen. Turret plates with only another 20 seconds to go. Looks like not too many more are going to be taken. As, of course, Rift Herald did help take down the top outer turret, and that's why Gen.G is sitting with about a 2.5k gold lead. Spear not going to connect, but that was very, very close. This Fly picks up an Ignite there in the mid lane. Ghost and Flash at the moment with the unsealed spellbook, so he's going to be moving around pretty quickly. Hop, skip, and a jump from Clid gets him to safety also, as it looks like Afreeca feeling the pressure a lot here at this stage of the game as B2D getting up close and personal with this outer turret. Shockwave comes down as Fly going to be ghosting out of the way as the bubble is just going to hit a minion. And it feels like this lane certainly has flipped on its head after that 6 snipe out of Ruler.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see the turret plate gold here. It's over 1,000 for the side of Gen.G, 0 for Afreeca. They have no control in any of these lanes as, oh, Rascal trying to bait.
Yeah, went in a little bit too early, though, as he gets the Culver Meek, but unfortunately, Clid gets here a little bit too late. Tempered Fate will find Ruler as well, and oh no, he's in an alcove without a dream. As the Blast Cone comes forward, Life now trying to set it up. Ruler flashes out of the way, Dawning Shadow comes in, Mystic in so much trouble as now Ben trying to fight off Ruler. The arrow is going to miss. The auto should connect onto Mystic, but no, B2D cleans it up, and damn, Ruler's having a good day.
Oh yeah, he's having a ball down there. It's fun times for the Fed Senna, as he didn't even die, so we don't even get to see what he's gonna buy just yet. I was looking for that, but maybe he'll back now after pushing the wave. And you see that BDD was also able to get down there relatively quickly to help out a little bit. Didn't end up doing much, but his moral support was appreciated. As
he got a kill, which I think is actually very important for the Orianna that did get solo killed earlier. We're going to have a look at the bad news for Gen.G first.
다 갈 거 없을 것 같은데? 잡은 거 없을 것 같아.
I think
니달리 왔다, 니달리. 나이스! 뒤에서. 바텀 얘 잡아도 되냐? 해도 돼.
And here's the breakdown as well. Ruler just going into the alcove and gets caught out, and they're thinking, oh, okay, we finally got him. We're going to get that stun down, but Cleanse taken in the lane by Ruler, able to flash away. And once he does get into a good position, from ahead, of course, he is able to get quite a lot there. As you mentioned, BDD actually did snipe that one out as there was the canceled auto from Ruler. And yes, it will be a lethality as a just full Yom is completed for Ruler, who is level 10 and feeling pretty nice in this game.
Yeah, and the Glacial Augment also going to be very effective here also for slowing everyone down. You saw those autos being quite frustrating already, as Clid should be able to lock down Shirley. And, you know, their Herald control was already very good. And now getting 2 in the 1 game, certainly a feels good moment. We get to end the series now, though, or end the game at least, because Gen.G had a lead at 15 minutes. And so technically, it's all over, Valdez.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Well, I'll see you guys for the next game.
Yeah, see you in the next one. We're going to go to a short break. No, yeah. We're kidding, of course. We are going to play this one out, but it is certainly looking like Gen.G have a lot of control outside of the top lane.
There are some people that
Kiin
missed
trust.
The stats, of course, that we looked at, because neither of these teams have a loss when they're ahead at 15 in gold. So that's the case. Gen.G gets ahead in gold, and we're kind of memeing that, and we'll see if they are actually able to get, you know, a good lead from this. So Spirit is in a very interesting spot, looking for the flank, essentially, but he's spotted out, actually.
Yeah, Clid going to get sniped, but no, the arrow is going to miss. Spear connects, and Spirit's down to about half health. BDD full, as Kiin looking for a potential flank. The Renekton finally comes in as well, and Afreeca, they don't want this fight. They're going to move away from the Infernal Drake, and it looks like Gen.G should be able to get themselves to Soul Point. A lot of damage here available, and no response for Afreeca.
Yeah, not much they can do, and I think it's, you know, it's always the question. Are they going to have a better time fighting here or at the next Drake? Because they're going to have to fight for one, otherwise they're going to give up Infernal Soul and probably lose the game, as will Ben lose his life here?
X-Flash, pounce, Ben gonna magically journey away, but Mystic not gonna be so lucky. Rascal picks up the kill, and that's special delivery from Gen.G over to the Crocodile. They're trying to get him back into this game. He's 40 CS down, but now at least he has himself that kill for the added money, plus the plate gold from the top side. And he may not be the anemic Crocodile handbag that we were expecting in this game.
A little bit of a rough start, but definitely going to be doing some nice stuff for this team. I feel like, unfortunately for Afreeca, they had this little reputation in summer where it's like, against the bottom half of the teams, they destroy them. It's some of the fastest games that we have. But then up against some of the stronger teams on the left side, they get demolished themselves. And we're seeing that here in Game 1. It is very one-sided, as there's just no vision. The hawk shot comes out too late, and as you mentioned, they're just bullying Mystic here. I mean, they don't have to chase the Bard. They've got a free Ashe with no protection underneath the turret, and the turret's not going to do anything to them at this point. So 0-4 is Mystic, not having the most fun first game here in the series.
Absolutely not. This is a disaster for Mystic at the moment. As Gen.G looking to press forward, I have a feeling that we might see Senna banned in the next series because Ruler has just been too good. Him alongside Life. Seems like we can nerf Sett as many times as we want, and he's still just going to be played by our LCK players. We've seen him in the jungle still. The performance out of On Fleek yesterday was absolutely amazing, and he was playing a lot of Sett. Doesn't really matter if he gets nerfed. We're still going to make him work. And the Hex Flash synergy certainly is a good one for the Sett. As BDD up towards the top side, does have a few friends here. But Clid's around the corner, so immediately Afreeca are going to back away. And they are playing so scared. Afreeca are just trying to move away from any sort of engage that Gen.G could go for, regardless of what it is. And I guess they're just committed to the Kiin split push win condition, try to avoid fights as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's they don't have too many options from here, right? It's like, do we wait and try to go for the split push win condition? Can we really afford to give away Infernal Drake? And they're kind of running out of time, right? Because it's coming up, the Infernal Drake Soul here in 2 minutes. There was no Drake that Afreeca was able to take. They were not able to delay this capture at all by taking any of the original Drakes here, as Rascal's even chasing Kiin down the lane somehow, as he's got the rotation coming in from his team, but Magical Journey going to help Ben get to safety.
Somewhat as Mystic. Oh, no, they're bullying him! Oh, goodness me. All right, now Spirit's in trouble. Look at how much damage Ruler... This is the most damage I've seen out of a Senna ever. Dawning Shadow almost able to take down Spirit, but he is relatively tanky and he'll survive for the moment. But Ruler's out for blood, and damn, he's getting it so far.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about the lethality Senna as well. When you get ahead, and your opponents aren't really going to be building too much armor, especially in the case of the Ashe, you are just going to chunk her like insane amounts. And that's exactly what's coming in. He's already got Orianna completed as well. So, like, I don't think there's anything that Afreeca can really do to stop this Senna at this point. I mean, look at the damage from the one ability onto Kiin.
That's just a snare. That's supposed to be CC, not a nuke. This is ridiculous. Gen.G are going to brute force the inner turret. Life looking for a potential engage, but the bubble comes down. And Life is going to mitigate its effectiveness by standing in the way of the Paddle Star, and Piercing Darkness going to come through and keep everyone healed. I just can't believe this is Ruler with only one serrated Dirk worth of lethality. Like, he's going to get even worse very, very soon as Mystic has to flash. And look at that. It's like auto Q auto and he's dead from half health. It's not normally what you see out of a Senna at this stage of the game, but he is very accelerated.
Even the damage onto the tank. He's still doing damage onto him. A guy who has Ninja Tabi and a chainmail. He's like still getting chunked out by the Senna. I mean, he's just too fed at this point. And now after that, he went back, picked up a seal, and an execution was calling, which is a hefty amount of gold that he had saved up once again. And here we go.
Two-man shockwave. Fly going to immediately cleanse and get himself out of the way. Kiin is here. All 5 members in the mid lane here for Afreeca. They know that they need to fight for Infernal Soul. They don't. This game's just over if it's not over already. As looks like there's just not going to be a contest. This is Afreeca passively losing the game.
Yeah, well, it's rough, right? I mean, we talked about how they don't have many choices, and I think if they had forced a fight there, they probably would have just died anyway, and then, on top of that, lost the Infernal Soul, so not really much of a choice there. They're just going to have to hunker down and hope that somehow they can rely on Kiin to carry this game, because otherwise it's not looking too pretty for game number 1. You can see that Gen.G very active around the map looking for picks.
Yep, Spirit is about as dead as he can possibly be. Tries to ult himself out of the way, but I have a feeling they're going to be able to catch up. The flash forward. There's the flash face breaker. As Showstopper comes through and Fly is picked off. He does go golden. Tempered Fate is going to buy them some time. And Arrow's going to do the same, but there's the shockwave. And that's going to be the kill onto the Bard. Blast Cone gets Fly out of the way, and there's not going to be the pick-off onto Mystic this time. Spirit survives, but I don't know whether anybody else is going to be so lucky as Ruler got very... Dawning Shadow picks it up. He got very aggressive is what I was going to say, and he interrupted me by being even more aggressive. As Inner Turret is going to go down, and they might even be able to get this siege on the Inhibitor turret as well.
Yeah, it's a bit early on in the game, so they're not just going to end it right now. Unless they continue to just pick people off one by one. Then they could possibly do it, but Fly is going to survive. They'll back away after taking this inhibitor, and it really just does feel like there is nothing stopping Gen.G just rolling over them with the steamroller, and you can see Kiin, this is not where he wants to be trying to defend. He's trying to be in the lane with Renekton, go for the 1v1, try to be split pushing, but not really much that he can do at this point in time. I mean, Mystic is 0 and 6. He's doing 0.
Yeah, Fly's mega dead. I believe that was Fly that put down the thumbs up, Timo.
Probably.
Don't know what that means. Ruler is currently 4-0-4, opponent not found. Definitely having a brilliant performance. This is going to be sad news for B2D. Might give Showmaker a chance to catch up if he gets back-to-back POGs in our next series. B2D, remember, needs to get at least one to confirm being our back-to-back POG winner for the season. He won it in spring, could also do it here in summer. As getting their speed up, as look at how aggressive Ruler decided to go. And Dawning Shadow says goodbye to Mystic.
And nearly to Spirit on top of that, so just he's just having it's like he's playing co-op versus AI at this point, you know. It's like where you get super fed and you're just three-shotting the computers, and it's a whole bunch of fun, and it's just really unfortunate for Afreeca that they weren't able to do much. This Kiin, he's looking for the assassination. See what he can do.
He is 2 levels ahead of Ruler, because now he's going to find him. There's Blade of the Rune King. Arrow is going to connect, but he immediately cleanses it, and now Ben's in trouble. Has to flash to get out of the way of the shockwave. As pounce out from Clid to avoid Spirit. Mystic is in trouble. Dawning Shadow comes down. You can't cleanse that damage. And the flash forward from B2D is going to say goodnight to the Ashe. Rascal finds the backline as a flash is picked up by Fly very luckily. Of course, that was the one that Rascal just used to engage on them, so you can understand why it was there as Kiin has to flash. But the snare does connect, and Ruler is looking to go 1 versus 3. He's still very squishy, but he doesn't seem to know that or to care. As Fly will be taken down. There's the auto. Can't avoid that one. As it looks like this will be the end of the game, Valdez. I don't know what Ben and Kiin can do from the fountain.
Yeah, I guess we're just going to have a 27-minute game. This seems to be the way it goes when Afreeca plays the top 4 of the LCK, unfortunately for them.
Yep, Afreeca do struggle against the West, and it's not going to stop here, but it was the bottom lane, man.
Is that 0-8?
I think Mystic was 0-8-0 by the end of this one. Ruler just put him in the grave.